Hey guys, it's Kate, and I hope you're having a great day. I'm back again with an intuitive painting, and I am only using 3 colors, even though I started out with 5. I ended up challenging myself, and I'm going to be using lemon yellow, phthalo blue, quinacridone rose, and then a good bit of white. I'm going to start out with my pencil making some quick sketchy blobs just to kind of put some structure on the page and make some big and small shapes kind of randomly, but trying to get sort of flowy. And I'm mixing in just a little bit of that blue with plenty of white to get a nice pastel color. So I'm hand mixing all of my colors today, and it's kind of a nice challenge to try working with just your primary colors and then see how many different colors you can mix from that. And it's a great way to practice mixing, but also the end result is all of your colors are going to look really nice together because a little bit of everything is in all your colors, and you can still get your bold, rich tones and your pastels and your neutrals and everything. So it's really a nice way to experiment with paint, and I really love how this one turned out at the end. So I started off with blue and then started adding a little bit of that lemon yellow and a little bit more white at a time to kind of veer it toward the green. And what I'm doing here in this whole painting is I'm starting off very, very light with cool colors, and I'm going to darken that up, and then I am going to start switching over to warm colors, and you'll see it just kind of slowly warming up as we go along. So I'm finished up filling in all of my pencil shapes, but I've also made some different marks around some different blob shapes and lines and dots and circles. And you can see I'm starting to darken up my color and add more and more blue. And I really love these nice like turquoise shades and green shades, and some of it almost looks sort of like a minty green, and it just really appealed to me. And I'm just slowly deepening up the color, adding in some texture now and some marks, and just scattering around the page just different interesting shapes. And now I've grabbed my thinner round brush and some of the straight blue, which is my darkest, and I am going around some of those blob outlines and adding in some other marks. And it's kind of funny because pretty soon, once I get started adding some more colors, you're going to start to see a face. And I wonder, I'll probably say what it is in this voiceover, but I could not unsee it once I saw it. And it was just kind of funny, but I'm working on the face right now. Well, I was a second ago. So now I'm going toward the warm. I wanted to kind of mess things up a bit with my palette knife, so I did some messy scrapings, and now I'm going more toward the purples and the reds and the peaches, and doing the same thing as before, just slowly mixing different variations of color. And now I've got this really nice bright peach that just pops out from the background. So warm kind of goes in front of cool. So when you have them next to each other, you tend to see the warm colors like they're closer to you. So it's something kind of to think about when you're painting, is if you add warm colors to a cool background, they really tend to pop out, and you can kind of see that here too. So I'm going in with that quinacridone rose. Now I'm adding some of that phthalo blue to make a nice deep purple, and I'm getting some really nice dark values on here now. And I'm just going around, I'm trying to focus in certain areas so everything isn't so busy on the page, but I want some spots to be very busy. And so in the bottom center area, right now, I kind of got a Homer Simpson face vibe, and it just really sticks out at me. And even the final painting is just, I didn't see it until the end, but it just kind of makes me laugh looking back at it now. It's like he's got one eye, but he's kind of smiling, and he's got the big head. So it ended up being, after I finished with this whole piece, I turned it to the right, and you'll kind of see it almost looks like a fun little abstract landscape, which I really loved. And that is actually how I'll do my close-up at the end. But for now, I'm going in with my markers and my Jelly Roll pen and adding some different doodle marks and pattern to this paper. So I've got all my color down, and I'm even breaking out the gold marker for some sparkle on the page that's a little bit subtle. And you can see that looks extremely warm compared to all the rest of the colors. It's kind of like this rich gold color over some bright pastels and different colors. But I'm going through lots of different colors with my Posca markers and adding contrast where I can and some outlines, and just kind of bringing into focus some of the areas of the painting that I thought were really interesting. So I'm just making my marks and then taking a second and looking at it and then making my decision and putting those marks in. So I've got some different sort of, kind of turned out to be like leaf shapes and maybe some loose flower shapes. But when I turned it a certain direction, it almost looks like a lake with some lily pads and some background. And this is like how I ended up keeping it. You can see from the close-up all of the detail and everything, and then there's our little lake at the bottom. So I really loved how this turned out. It's very abstract, a ton of fun, and only 3 colors. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep creating.